I thought I saw it all, and then someone sends me this video to review, and it just makes me sick. And it makes me angry and sad. Sad for this dog and for many other dogs that will be mistreated after watching videos like that. And also, it's dangerous for everyone around the dogs that are treated in this way and are trained in this way. I'm Dr. Ryan, a veterinarian and a veterinary behavior residency graduate. And yes, I know how to train dogs like this one without using punishment and scaring them, as you will see in a second. I work with hundreds of dogs like this, and you can change them without using these techniques.
It's me telling you what to do from a distance, and you cannot control her. So I'm gonna take over the leash to get her under control first, and then I'm gonna show you what to do.
So we have a dog here that's barking and lunging toward the trainer. Now you should know that this dog can easily get away from the lady that's holding him. So the fact that he's not, even though he is pulling, shows us something.
Hold on very close to her collar. Okay. And what are you gonna just pass me the other end of the leash? Okay. Let her go.
So this is very extreme. He takes the leash and the dog jumps on him. I do believe that if the dog wasn't wearing a muzzle, he might have beaten the guy. But very fast, he moves away. The dog moves away from the guy, trying to get away from him. Now, something that I want you to notice is that the dog is wearing a regular collar, as far as I can see, at this point. You see how the dog is crouched down, pulling away from the guy, not lunging at him anymore, not barking, almost not barking, not trying to bite him, and he is shushing him. Does he think that that calms the dog down? He's also making direct eye contact with the dog, like staring the dog down. And everything that the dog is showing are signs of fear, of extreme fear. This is so sad. The dog is whining in fear. This big, vicious dog that was barking and lunging a second ago is whining in fear. The guy didn't even hurt him physically. All the dog wants to do is to get away from the guy. And what is he doing? He's touching him. The dog is looking away in fear, looking at his owner like, help me.
She's very fear aggressive, but...
So he understands. He understands that it's fear aggression.
But of course she's dangerous when she's in that state of mind.
Yeah, it is dangerous in that state of mind. A dog that's afraid of someone or something will do whatever he needs to do in order to get away.
We have to show her that when someone comes in and pets her, nothing bad is gonna happen.
Okay, I agree. This is what we need to do. We need to show her that when someone comes, it's not necessarily a bad thing. But do you think, you that are watching this video right now, do you think that if you were afraid of something, let's say you're afraid of cockroaches, and all I do is to force you to touch cockroaches, would that make you feel better? Would that make you feel less afraid of cockroaches? No, definitely not. So what's the difference between cockroaches and people? Gladly there are a lot of differences between people and cockroaches. But to the dog right now, this person is the scariest thing in the world. And the last thing the dog wants is to be in touch with this person.
Take a deep breath. You saw she was crying for help when I got the leash,
She was crying for help when he got the leash. Again, I really don't understand it. This guy reads the dog's body language. He hears the dog. He knows this is all due to fear. So why does this guy continue to forces this fearful stimulus on the dog?
But before that, you're not telling her that. She feels like she needs to be defensive. She needs to protect herself. She puts so much effort into that because she really believes that's what she needs to do. And because of her breed and her personality, she really puts up a strong fight.
She needs to protect herself. Yes, she does. She feels like she needs to protect herself. Now continue watching the dog's body language, even at this point, even when he's holding her and she's not trying to bite him anymore. See how her ears are down, how her tail is either very low or she's wagging it in a low or kind of straight angle, slowly, without moving her butt, so it's not a happy wag. And you see kind of like how she looks at him for a second and kind of looks away, or maybe even looking at him to kind of like try to see what he's gonna do next. All of these are signs of fear.
It's gonna take a few repetitions, of course, because it's like a year and a half of, being afraid. Come.
A few repetitions, so he's gonna do it more than once. Again, you're afraid of cockroaches. I'm not gonna only throw a cockroach on you once, I'm gonna do it over and over and over again. What do you think is gonna happen next?
No. So every time there's any type of like barking, she's trying to scare me away from her. And I need to tell her, nope, that doesn't work. Okay. And then once she stops, I'm like, okay, see, I'm your friend. There's no corrections.
There's no corrections? He just tagged on the leash. He keeps doing the ch-ch. A correction doesn't mean you kick the dog. A correction doesn't mean you scream at the dog. Anything that you do to scare the dog, like those ch or like tagging on the leash, these are corrections, and they are not a lot different from screaming at the dog. Especially when the dog is already afraid, and you'll see how the dog looks at the guy with fear, with sheer terror in her eyes. That's so sad.
Come, we're gonna befriend her. Good girl. Good. It's okay.
I like it how he corrects her and then says it's okay and goes to pet her. Shh. And then pets her. That's so confusing. Even I'm confused, and I'm not afraid of the guy.
Good. Come. Come on.
You see how she's low? How she's so low with her body posture? Fear.
I am using this video to demonstrate why I approach these aggressive dogs and reactive dogs that I work with in the manner in which I do. As you guys can see, the dog is extremely reactive in the beginning of the video, ready to bite. This dog was double muzzled. That means the dog had 2 muzzles on. The owner has no control over the dog.
Okay, I couldn't see if the dog was actually double muzzled, although even if she was, that's kind of dumb. You don't need to double muzzle dog. If you have a nice muzzle that's fitted correctly, all you need is one. And it's not a bad thing to use a muzzle when you need to use a muzzle for safety reason, to make everyone feel comfortable. But of course, you also need to address the problem that's causing the dog to be aggressive. But you think that this guy might be very brave, right? He took the muzzle off. Did you notice that now the dog is not wearing the collar that she was wearing before? Now she's wearing a prong collar. For those of you who don't know what a prong collar is, it's kind of like a choke collar, but they added some spikes on the inside to make it even more painful. Also, check out the dog's behavior. Now that you can see her face, she lip licks all the time. She might be yawning from time to time. She does or try to do this shake off, which is something that they do in order to kind of reduce their own stress, reduce the high energy levels, like when they are in distress or kind of like very confused and don't know what to do. So this dog is not happy.
Which is why these owners come to me in the first place, is they are looking for someone who can help them understand the dog. But the problem is I would never be able to demonstrate to them how to handle their dogs unless I'm physically handling the dog and demonstrating close up what they must be doing to get these dogs under control.
Did you count how many times he had to pull, to tag on the prong collar to hurt the dog? Does that show that he's in control? Yes, it's a lot easier to teach the owner how to do things by demonstrating. I agree. But I can tell you that it's possible even without being the one to touch the dog. We're people. We can communicate with each other. We can tell, no, you're holding the leash wrong. Or no, you're rewarding something bad. You're rewarding it on the wrong timing, so you're making things worse. Or no, you're getting too close, too fast. Or you should do this, you should do that. And again, I'm talking from experience. Me, as a veterinary behaviorist, a behavior residency graduate, I don't even try to physically hold aggressive dogs or fearful dogs. Why would I do it? It's dangerous for me. It might be dangerous for the dog. It actually makes things worse. And yes, I know how to explain things. I know how to make owners deal with their dogs.
Essentially, what I'm doing when I work with these aggressive dogs is getting them under control first so that I can actually teach the owners how to manage them so that the dog never gets to that level of intensity
No control
and
at all.
completely out of
Now,
control.
don't think that this
Which
dog
they
is
got
playful.
there in the first place because the owners did not know how to manage them and do the right things to prevent it from escalating to that level.
The dog kept doing this full body shake off. She stopped at the middle because the prong collar is hurting her, and she keeps looking at the trainer with a very low posture and what I told you about the slow wagging tail. This dog is still in distress. The fact that she's not trying to bite him is not because he has control. It's because of learned helplessness. The dog learned that she can't do anything to get away from this guy, so she should kind of like not do anything or do the least that she can in order to just have everything over and maybe survive this.
But because it has escalated to that level, these dogs are so relentless and dangerous and out of control and unresponsive to command that I must get the dogs to understand that they need to follow directions from the leash handler.
You see, like the second that he touches her, her tail goes down. She's still afraid of him. And you know what's the worst thing by creating this learned helplessness? Is that the dog becomes unpredictable. This dog used to give us so many signals. She would bark, she would lunge, she would even shy away if she couldn't bark and lunge. Now she might not do anything because now she learned that if she does, he's gonna do this shh, or he's gonna tag on the prong collar and hurt her. So she just stops. Does that mean that she's not afraid anymore? No. So what's the result of that? She might bite without giving any warnings. And the owner now thinks that the dog is safe, that the dog is under control, so she's not even wearing a muzzle, and he even gonna show her how he's gonna take this dog into a location with many other people around him.
And only then we will be able to get anywhere with the rest of the training. Once the dog goes through that the first time, you will never see them get to that same level of confusion and unstable state of mind.
Keep looking at the dog, okay? I mean, don't listen to me for a second. Don't have me tell you what I think about this dog body posture. Please look, and you can write in the comments what you think the dog is showing.
I hope this video helps explain why my training approach is so direct and why it may look a little intense at times.
It doesn't look intense, it just looks bad. Now, this trainer has millions of followers, but that doesn't make him right. It just makes him a good YouTuber. And that's actually the reason that my YouTube exists, because I want to teach people the right ways. So I would really appreciate if you subscribe and like this video, and if you want to share it with your friends or people that you know that go to trainers that do this kind of techniques and maybe save their dogs, please do so. If you heard about this guy, you probably also heard about Cesar Millan, another famous dog trainer that does things the wrong way. And I did a video about him as well, and you can check it out here.